meter for the beat.
Live it, breathe it, love it. All sports, double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm your boy Dom with the great man Sauce, and we are pumped.
We're pumped! Pumped! Let's go, J-Bird! 840, J-Bird!
He's G'd up. He's just as G'd up as I am. Yeah, just for the listeners out there, for the viewer, if you're listening to this tomorrow, unfortunately, you missed out on putting some money on the dog. Gamble responsibly. But if you're watching, I've got to share in a greyhound, and it is racing at 8:40 while the podcast is running. So we will take an intermission live, and you'll probably get my reaction for me carrying on like an absolute muppet. So it's always great entertainment and great viewing. All at my expense for your pleasure, as you all love. But like we said, big show ahead, NBA to cover. We're probably going to get through this pretty quick. It's not as much content as we would usually have, but we've got NBA, AFL stuff, preview the F1s, EPL, just a little bit of UFC stuff, then the NFL, and then Hobby Talk is a miss for this week, as we did something special, which we'll mention there, and then we'll finish off with obviously the most anticipated segment of the Double Coverage podcast, Sauceys Smokey. Oh, jeez, that was a bit. Let's get stuck into it, shall we? NBA, big fella.
Let's do it, Domma. Massive news. We are going to lead with it. We know it's come out today. Russell Westbrook. He wants out of Houston. He wants out of Houston.
So happy. You don't understand how happy I am. I'll tell you what.
Where's he going to brick it up next, Domma?
Everyone was laughing at me on the socials, through Twitter, tagging me in videos. You don't know what you're talking about. Just shut the hell up. Me and Sauce know what we're talking about on this show. We've been telling you from day dot. They are shit. Their bloody chemistry
Best
is
defense
shit.
in the league, but best defense
No.
in the league, aren't they?
And they're the smallest team. They've got the greatest left-handed player to ever bloody lace them up. I'll tell you what, they are capitulating. Westbrook is not happy. He wants out. These are the reports. These are the reports. Westbrook wants out. Harden not taking criticism well compared to other players. Apparently, he's very standoffish. Gordon not happy about his team role. Tucker, quote, is irate over his contract situation. And Rivers unhappy with his playtime. So that is half a team gone. And they lost D'Antoni, who's gone, and Daryl Morey, their GM, has also left.
D'Antoni was keeping it all together, even though we thought he was the problem. D'Antoni was keeping it all together. He was keeping he was keeping the rabble together, mate.
You know what he did?
Left, and then
You know what he did? You know what he did, D'Antoni? He's like, you made me a scapegoat for X amount of years I was at this ball club. I'll just leave and just show you that they're all a dysfunction and it was nothing to do with me.
It's a fair comment. It's a fair comment.
Ah, you like that?
It's a fair comment.
Hey, it doesn't take many people that's switched on like you and I to look at the situation and go, the logic's there. He got bagged for everything. They can't play his offense. They can't do this. He's gone now, mate. He's gone, and now all this stuff's coming out. Were you going to blame D'Antoni?
He's not there. He's not there.
And you know what's even better? Well, like Westbrook is rumored. Listen to some of these ball clubs, mate. Clippers, mate. They choke this year. If you get Westbrook, are you going to use that as your excuse next year? Because you're not winning it if you get that spud. New York Knicks. That's the perfect fit for
Perfect fit for him. He can take 45 shots a game.
And have 82, and he can have 82 triple doubles.
He really could.
72.
He might struggle to get the assist because blokes can't knock down shots out in New York. So he might fall short on it. But the rebounds and the points, you'll get that.
This is just poetic justice, mate. We've been saying it. Everyone laughed at us. And it's just like, well, in your face. We told you, mate. It doesn't take a blind man to see it. Come on. They're shit. They're shit. I'm so happy. I told you to prove me wrong. And I tell you what, Houston, you just proved me right. Go eat it.
That's great. That's great.
It's so good. It just, I'm pumped as it is, and that's just put an even bigger grin on my face. But we got some other news. The season is returning on December 22nd. It is going to be a 72-game season, which is awesome. The draft is next week on November 18th. Free agency starts on November 20, but free agency signing begins on the 22nd of November, so they can start talking on the 20th for 2 days and start sorting out some stuff. A few other things. Rondo opting out of his $2.86 million option and becoming an unrestricted free agent. Daryl Morey, as we mentioned, new GM of now the Philly 76ers. And we'll just quickly touch on this. The rumor of James Harden going there. With James Harden, with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons.
I couldn't imagine it.
I could. Worse than this year because they have absolutely no bench. Their bench stunk this year. When you're paying 3 max guys, what are you going to have on the bench? Raymond Felton. Like, come on. Come on.
Oh, that's a cheap dig, but that's a cheap dig. That's nearly as good as my Maurice Spates dig back in the first bomb.
Oh, God. I'll tell you. People are reporting this shit. Shut up. It's just as good as the one Sauce sent me about Ben Simmons going to the Lakers.
Down over at Trending NBA, whatever you blokes are smoking, posting that Ben Simmons is going to the Lakers.
What are you...
There's no chance he's going to the Lakers.
They struggle to have a roster with AD and LeBron's contracts and what they're going to take Ben Simmons. Mate, LeBron struggled to fucking carry that team to a title because he played Miami in the finals. If he played Boston, it might have been a bit different. His bench wasn't that good. He had Caruso. I know he stepped up, but he had a G League guy, a former G League guy, is what I'm saying.
Caruso!
He had, look at it, he had like old vets in Rondo and Howard. You can't. You can have all minimum contract guys on your team. These guys are idiots. You're reporting on your
That's what I
job,
mean. I
and
don't
you
get it.
still can't get it right.
I don't get it.
What are these morons talking about? A few other ones. Drew Holiday is on the move. Potential Heat links, 76ers links. I reckon that would actually be a good pickup for Philly. I really do.
I mean,
Also for the
that would
Heat,
make
even
him
for the Heat.
probably an elite defense, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
we'll bring it back, Domma. They need to get some bench. They need to get a bench, and I don't get why they traded out some of those players. JJ Redick could came off the bench. I mean, I understand his contract, but he comes off the bench, he'll give you 15 points a game, easy. And it's just that they lacked that last season so much. So much.
I have no idea. A couple other things before we finish off. As we'll be covering this for the weeks going on from now, and NBA is going to be another massive feature back on the pod. So, just to finish up, Lakers are eyeing Serge Ibaka. Bucks are eyeing Bojan Bogdanovic from Sacramento, which would be a good get for the Bucks. And they're also looking at Victor Oladipo. Yeah,
they need shooting. We keep saying, get shooting around Giannis.
Correct.
Make plays. If they can knock down outside shots better, and obviously Giannis getting a jumper will help. And I keep saying it, they'll get better. I'll be interested to see how that goes. They have to do something this year. If they don't do something this year, Giannis is gone. He's gone. That's it.
Well, it's not guaranteed that he's going to be there at the end of free agency, so we'll see. Wait and see what happens. But he's
coming to the Lakers as well as Ben Simmons.
He can be traded. Sorry, he's out of contract next year. But just to finish up before we move on, probably the biggest story in the offseason, the biggest, and you don't understand how big this is. Like, I'm talking bigger than Jordan Game 6 game-winning shots big. Bigger than LeBron blocks on Andre Iguodala big. This guy, you know why it's big? Because it's the first time in his career he's made a big play. A big play. And it wasn't even on the basketball court. That's how big of a play this is. I like to just say playoff potato got engaged, and that is the greatest thing he's done in his career to this date. Congratulations.
Oh, Domma, wait.
Probably that and getting early access to the PS5. That's probably just as good. There's two greatest things you've done in your career. Actually, no, number one's probably him giving us content to put on this podcast by him stinking it up in the playoffs. That's probably number one. Oh, unbelievable. So that's the biggest news in the off-season. We'll wait and see what transpires over the next few weeks. And obviously, we'll bring it to you as it comes. All right.
Nice.
Bang.
NBA's going to be back.
Back now.
Soon.
Back.
Let's go. It's going to ramp up. This, NBA draft next week.
We'll explain a bit about the draft when we get to Hobby Talk as well. There'll be some content for you to view already. We're not going to have a Hobby Talk. We're just going to explain some stuff when we get there, but we will cover it. But coming up next, AFL. All right, we're back. AFL news. Trade week wrapped up today, about 45 minutes ago. It's 8:15 now. Wrapped up at 7:30. Few big moves. Tom Phillips off to Hawthorn. Orazio Fantasia went to Port Adelaide. Cholor went to the Western Bulldogs.
Domma, one quick one. I'll just butt in there. News just reported.
Here we go.
Jeremy Cameron has secured his move over to the Geelong Cats.
Wow, nice.
Compensation pick 11. Reported in 6 minutes ago by Tom Brown.
Don't even get me fucking started. I'll tell you what, that's fair. I literally would give the AFL that. They give a compensation pick of pick 11 But the reason why they couldn't give a lower pick in pick 7 is because they gave it to Essendon for fucking Joe Danaher. And Jeremy Cameron takes a
I'll
dump.
have after we go over this stuff. I want to have a word on that in a tick.
no
All right,
worries.
let's go.
Definitely.
Keep running through. Keep running through.
We had Ben Brown, my boy, who I had a bit of a discussion about last week. Went to the D's. Stephen Martin off to the Bulldogs. Lockie Young to my boys, North Melbourne. Braden Pruce at his third club now in GWS. Mitch Hannon from the D's to the Dogs. Peter Wright went to Essendon. Cole Hardigan also on the move from Adelaide to Hawthorn. Sean Higgins from North has left and he's at the Geelong Cats. Don't know if Dunkley got done. I don't think it has.
No, I don't think it's going to get done, and that's one thing I am happy about because we had no power in that trade. If we use our draft picks well, and maybe one of these top 10 draft picks that we've got that might come into a good player, and in 2 years, because let's be, I'll speak about it in a sec. Is there still more to go over?
Yeah.
Right, go, and I'll speak about it in a sec.
Sean McKernan to the Saints. Jack Higgins also went to the Saints. Alex Witherden from the Lions somehow fits into West Coast Eagles' already stacked team, and that is a very good pickup, that Alex Witherden pickup. That's very underrated. And then a nice one for my boys. I'll take it. Jaden Stevenson and Artu Bon Senavalugi from the Collingwood Magpies down to Arden Street, which I'm very happy about.
Did you get
Two young guys. And Leah went to Port from Sydney. I think that's all of them. Over to you, mate. You got a bit to say here.
Well, first and foremost, if you go back and have a listen in previous pods, I had a crack at Adrian Dodorio. But I'm going to commend him when he, I'm happy to, I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong, and he's done very well this trade period. I'm glad we didn't give up 2 of those top 10 picks to get Dunkley, because let's be honest, if we give up those top 2 picks in the top 10, and Dunkley comes, is Essendon even a guarantee to then make finals, or are we contending? Not really. So what's the point? We're probably still building. No chance we're gonna contend for a premiership next year. No chance in hell. I keep saying until our midfielders want to decide in the off season to improve their kicking and their disposal efficiency, and we decide that we actually want to play a forward half pressing game and not a rebounding from the back game and give up 70 freaking inside 50s a game, we're not going to get anywhere. So there's a long way to go, and bringing Dunkley in is not going to change a thing. So take these draft picks. We've done very well. Draft these guys. Hopefully one of them turns out to be better than Dunkley, or at least Dunkley's level. Then you get Dunkley in 2 years. Then that midfield's looking, mighty fine, and we've found some of our next backmen. But we've got to fill some spots. We've lost McKenna. We've lost Sard. 2 great runnings off the back. Yeah. So off the back line, where are we next year? We're not going to really contend, but
but you're shaping up. Shaping up.
But that's what I mean.
And the thing on Dunkley, I'm with you. That's a lot to give up for Dunkley, and I think Dunkley is a great player, but it'd be good as well. He's obviously coming off a few injuries, just to see how he can hold up his body over the next 2 seasons. I really rate him. I reckon he's a fantastic player. But a pick 6, 7, or 8, one of those to give to the Dogs for Dunkley, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I reckon, like you said, you might probably draft someone like a Dunkley out of those top 3 picks there. Top 3 of those top 10 picks. So I reckon it's looking pretty good for Essendon.
Wow. What's happened? I'm just going to mention here, I'm just going to go over this Treloar trade. Adam Treloar.
Oh, they got
absolutely given one straight up the wazoo. They've given up Treloar, picks 26, 33, and 42, and in return the Magpies get pick 14 and a future second round pick. Western Bulldogs, well done. They're going to be good, man. You have absolutely smashed the Magpies in that trade, and
mate, they're going to
be the Magpies. Right. Collingwood, don't show your hands too early. You come out public and say you don't want him. Then he doesn't feel welcome at the club. So, of course, the move's going to have to be forced. Or else what? He's going to be disgruntled. He's not going to even play at the club. He's going to take up $700,000 on your salary cap. and just do nothing, play in the reserves all year, or maybe have
There
a year off.
was rumours that Collingwood's going to pay like $300,000 of that salary a year.
Just to get rid of him. Wow.
And not for anything, the way that was handled, Jaden Stevenson was on the radio, and he did an interview, and I was listening to on the drive home there, and he came out and said he wasn't even aware he was getting traded. The club didn't tell him anything. He had to go directly to Bucks and give him a personal phone call, and that's how we found out. Bucks said, "Yeah, if you're going to start," he said, "you should." He goes, "I recommend you start fielding some trades, and we'll help you try and get to your destination." So the club, the management there, it's pretty poor.
Well, I mean, look,
Pretty
Domma,
poor. They've lost Trelaw, Phillips, Stevenson, and Bonson and Vilagi, sorry. 4 guys.
Yeah, look,
Three young ones.
Yeah, under the current system, they're not doing their best work. You know what I mean? But Domma, I would like to see the AFL bring in adopt the NBA sort of system where when the NBA player becomes a free agent, they are a free agent. They pretty much can go to wherever they can fit into the salary cap, and there's no compensation picks or rubbish like that. Now and then when it's vice versa, where you're under contract, well, the club can then, if I want to trade you, Trelaw, if the best deal for us, 2 years left on your contract or whatever it was, 1 year, and the best deal for us is to trade you to freaking Gold Coast, we can do that. So, like, it needs to be refined. I don't agree with this compensation rubbish. And to throw that out the window, you have to allow the clubs more power and be able to just trade players when they're under contract.
Correct. Completely agree.
Like, I mean, you still got a job. I get it. It's tough with the things, but now with all the money that's sort of coming into the AFL, and it's probably just going to, there's going to be pay cuts next year, but once it sort of ramps up again and the way it's going, they're trying to build the game internationally and all that sort of stuff. It needs to happen.
No, I agree. It definitely does. But that's it for the AFL. It might be on hold now. We might not get any more AFL news for a while. It's been awesome covering it. If anything does break, we definitely will bring it to you. I think there's going to be a lot more fallout out of this Collingwood saga. I just got this feeling. So we might be reporting on that, and we might be giving a few people some whacks in the next few weeks. But it's been awesome reporting it. It's been an eventful season, very exciting, and one that had its ups and downs, but in the end result ended up where Sauce and I predicted it to end up with Richmond hoisting the premiership flag. So nothing changed there. But it's been awesome. But coming up next, we preview this week's F1 race. So stay tuned. All right, we're back. F1 this week. We'll just run through it quickly. It is the Turkish GP this weekend, qualifying on Saturday, followed by the race on Sunday. Exciting times, leaving Europe and going into Turkey. It's in Europe. Take that back. But going out of like those main hubs in terms of France, Germany, Italy. Going out there, and then we're going to go off into the Middle East, I think, after this one, which will be fantastic to get it back down there as well. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, and probably no surprises, but let's just be honest. It's most likely going to be Hamilton.
Remember I said after 5 weeks he'd won 5 races in a row or something like that? 5 races, 6 races. I said, it'd be just about short up, would it? The title, and you scoffed at me. You're like, come on, there's still a few races, quite a few races. I said, come on, Dom. Surely he's already over.
I deserve the lemon for that call, but the difference in that was, I'll tell you the moment that I woke up and went, fuck, you know what, Sauce is right here. The moment that he's beaten his teammate who's got the same car by 15 seconds.
That's just ridiculous. How's the car that different that he's smacked? Literally 1 and 2, and he's getting length on him.
Oh, he's just destroying him. It's ridiculous. It is actually a joke. I'm hoping based on really hot temperatures. Turkey will be, I think, hot this week, but then in the Middle East, it's clearly hotter, where Mercedes have struggled for track temp in the really hot conditions. It has a factor, but by the end of this weekend, or in 2 weeks' time, he's going to be world champion, and there's going to be still 7 races left or 6 races left, so it doesn't really matter. So it's over. He's your world champion for 2020. Anyway, that's it. Tune in, and we'll give it a bit of a review next week on the pod. So coming up next, EPL.
Culture.
Alrighty, here we go. EPL. Whew. Here we go. It was a big week. Let's just run through the games and do a bit of a review on some of the main ones. Brighton versus Burnley, 0-0 draw. Southampton, who was sitting on top after this win over Newcastle, got the 2-0 win. Had no Danny Ings. Shay Adams, quality finish on the first goal. And they probably should have smashed Newcastle by even more than that 2-0 scoreline. United, very, very poor start. Bernard put them up 1-0 down. Everton looked really good. My boys decided after about 25 minutes of play, we should actually come and play some quality football. Fernandez got the scoring going with a lovely header off a cross by Shaw.
He's your best
and
player.
Then he went
Domma.
mate,
I keep saying it. He's by far your best player.
I'll get on that in 2 seconds. And then he had a play where he went to cross the ball to Rashford, who it missed him completely, and he just dinked it in. It was a bit of luck, but you take some luck on during some days. And then, literally, we're all over him. We just play counter-attacking football at the end, and Fernandez could have gone for the hat-trick, but passed it off to Cavani for his first goal in United colours, which was awesome.
Team player,
but,
mate. Team player.
Fernandez is our best player this season, but reports are the GOAT could be back next season, so he'll be the second best player. The rumour is, I read the one, obviously, that we'd been in contact with Ronaldo. That was a report by ESPN, but there's actually another one where Pirlo was considering this. This could be like, if this happens, it's Christmas down here in my household. He wants Pogba, and it could be a swap with some money. If we offload Pogba to Juventus, mate, Christmas has come early for me. Honestly, literally come early for me. The most overrated player, one of the most overrated players I've ever seen. Next up, we had Sheffield versus Chelsea, 4-1 defeat. Chelsea were too good. They are looking very, very dangerous. Ziyech is an amazing pickup, by the way.
Yes.
He's a freak.
He's a jet.
Absolute freak. I'm still holding on to. I said that Everton was going to be up there. They've been struggling. They've lost 3 in a row. But we did say, watch out for Chelsea. They could be a bit of a smoky, and they could get the chocolates at the end of the season, as it's such a ambiguous one, and anyone can do anything. They're just getting better and better slowly each week, and you're seeing their progression, the way they're playing. They've found.
They're sitting 3 points off the lead, Domma, so they're right there.
Yeah,
Right there. Only one loss, mate. Only one loss, but they've kicked 20 goals this season, which is the most in the league. So
dominate.
They
found Mendy. Is it Mendy in goals?
Yep.
Found the gem in him.
Finally got rid of old mate Kepa, who's he's probably played his last game in a Chelsea uniform. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's done.
He might get a cup game.
We had West.
Number 2.
Petr Cech second. Don't forget that. Old Brad Ebert. West Ham beat Fulham 1-0. West Brom Albion lost to Tottenham 1-0. Leicester, who are now sitting on top of the table, beat the Wolves 1-0. VAR pen scored by Vardy. Vardy also later on in that game had a pen saved by Patricio. Then Liverpool beat Man City 1-1. Penalty on Kyle Walker scored by Salah. And then a great goal by Gabriel Jesus by an absolute Mickey ball by my boy, Kevin De Bruyne. So
The best attacking midfielder
City had
in the
City
Premier
had
League.
their chances to seal this game. I think they squandered some points. Klopp wasn't happy with a few decisions. Liverpool also had chances, but I just think Man City had more, and they just didn't capitalise. So
And that
unfortunate.
we'll just round it out there, Domma. We'll just
No. I've actually got the note here in the last game.
no, we'll just round it out there, mate.
No. It says, "Let Sauce cover this."
Ah,
It's good. You're up and about when you beat us, but it's fool's gold, mate. Arsenal is fool's gold.
how many goals have we
So
kicked this season, Domma?
I don't know. Not much.
Well, I'll go.
Not
I'll
many,
let
sorry.
you know. I'll bring up the ladder, which it's happened to have some technical difficulties right at the perfect time. Dom, just I don't know, mate. I don't
You got
know where we're at as a football club. We just,
shambolic.
you know, as I keep saying, credit where credit's due, and our defense has improved. Yes, it has, right? But what has happened to our attacking play? I don't know. You know, you've got this guy's getting paid £200,000 a week, who's you know, at one point in the height of his career was top 3 attacking midfielders in the game when he played at Real Madrid, and now he comes to Arsenal, he does well, and he's sitting at home doing nothing. Like, I mean, and we're lacking creativity. His position, right? I don't know what we're doing. Aubameyang, I mean, we gave him the contract, and, well,
He's gone missing.
he's done nothing. He scored all the goals to get the contract. We pay him the big bucks, biggest contract he's ever been paid, and he's gone missing.
Unbelievable. I can't believe it, honestly.
It's
But
Dom.
unbelievable stuff.
Credit to Aston Villa, they demolished us. They took the game to us. We didn't impose our will. We looked second rate all game. It was a disappointing performance.
They were very, very good. Very, very good. But the ladder, as it stands, is Leicester first, Tottenham second, a point behind, equal with Liverpool. Southampton fourth, Chelsea and Villa equal fifth. Everton, Palace, Wolves equal seventh. City and Arsenal equal 10th. West Ham, Newcastle equal 12th. United, Leeds equal 14th. Leeds have been struggling, by the way. Brighton, Fulham, West Brom, Burnley, Sheffield rounded off. International break for a couple of weeks before we get back into more EPL news. Lucky I'm not going to cover it next week when there's no games like I did a fortnight ago. But we also had some champions.
We had the second when we had the pod, we spoke about the second day on the Champions League from last week. So we'll go over just quickly over the results. Your boys got done by Istanbul Besiktas 2-1.
Terrible. Terrible.
Where was your defence on that Demba Ba goal? Where was
Terrible.
it? Where was it?
That was the perfect opportunity, as I said, for us to get 9 points in that group and then not have to panic. And now, terrible. I wasn't happy.
Zenit St. Petersburg 1-1 with Lazio. That's a good result for Zenit. Barcelona 2-1 over Dynamo Kiev. Anyone out there, Fatih has done his meniscus and will be out for four months, which is unfortunate. He looks like he's the next prodigy down there at Barcelona. Absolute gun. So, I mean, what is he, 17, 18? 18 years old?
17, I think. They've got some good players in that team. They've got Pedri as well, who's like 16. He's a freak.
So, I mean,
they've got two other guys there as well that are really good.
They're trying to find that next Lionel. And then we had Chelsea beat Rennes 3-0. You had Club Brugge defeated by Borussia Dortmund 3-0, and Ferencváros defeated by Juventus 4-1, and Red Bull Leipzig absolutely bounced back after getting absolutely demolished and pantsed by your boys with a huge win, and that puts them straight back into contention in that group of death, and it's firming up, Domma. It is firming up to be an absolute cracking group. Cracking group. You've got
100%.
you blokes on 6 points. Red Bull Leipzig on 6 points. Then you got PSG with 2 losses. Only on 3 points. They've only beaten Istanbul, or Red Bull, I think. And then you got Red Bull, who's Istanbul, who's also on 3 points. So it's gonna be a good group. We just run over the results quickly.
Like I said, we wasted the opportunity. So
Yes, you did waste the opportunity.
we just opened the door for everyone now. We're just stupid. Don't even get me started. But yeah, what are you gonna do? All right.
Up next.
Up next, some UFC and what we've been waiting for. It's coming. We're literally less than 5 minutes away from the race. Gamble responsibly, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're back. UFC. We're probably going to cut you off, big fella.
We're back. We are back. We're going to go over the card that went pie with just the main card. So, women's strawweight division, you had Yan Xianan defeating Claudia Gladia in the third round decision. Featherweight division, in the men's, you had a TKO in the first round. Giga Jitakse knocks out Jamie Simons, my bad. Bantamweight division, Raoni Barcelos with the third round decision over Khalid Taha. And then the heavyweights, third round decision, Andrei Arlovsky over Tanner Bosa. And then this is a great result by the veteran, Glover Teixeira, getting the submission finish in the third round against Thiago Santos, and absolutely calling out Dana White at the end, saying he wants a damn title shot. He wants a shot at that title.
There we go, calling out the boss.
And he deserves it. The veteran in there is, he's on a good run at the moment. He's won a few bouts on the trot. Deserves it. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to
Fair
see.
enough.
And yeah, running into this week's card, ladies and gents. Next week's card, obviously, next week after this, so in 2 weeks' time, we've got UFC 255, headlined by Davison Figueiredo versus Alex Perez. That's going to be an absolute cracker. But this week coming up, we've got UFC Fight Night Felder versus Dos Anjos. And it's going to be on the main card in the middleweight division. Eric Anders versus Antonio Arroyo. Women's strawweight, you got Kay Hansen versus Corey McKenna. Middleweight division, Julian Marquez versus Safarov. You got in the welterweight division, Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Kaylin Williams. And then in the main event, which is the lightweight division, Paul Felder versus Rafael Dos Anjos. And I'll tell you what, Dos Anjos in this picture that I'm looking at's got an absolutely cracking moustache. So I hope he wins. Now, Domma, we're just around the corner because we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to talk a bit of gibberish. We're going to add this into the UFC segment. We're not going anywhere, Domma, because coming up, race 6, 1 minute and 7 seconds. It's gonna jump.
Well, let's actually go into NFL, and we'll kick off NFL with this. And all right, so coming up next, we've got NFL and the race.
All right, let's do it.
All right, we're back. Here we go. The race is about to begin. I'm a bit cheated up. If you didn't catch the start, I have a share in a dog. Gamble responsibly, but it is running here at Sandown. Dog number 7 out of box 7. Just a bit nervous. Big outsiders. We're just looking for a place here. It would be nice, but if we get a win, and like I said, for your entertainment, you're probably going to get me reacting. You probably saw us because he's got some money as we gamble responsibly on this. But I'll try and be on my best behaviour. I apologise. The podcast is E for expletive. So there could be some things that come out of my mouth.
They're loading them up, Domma. They're loading them
I
up.
apologise well in advance.
They are loading them up.
For the viewers, enjoy it. You will also probably enjoy this as it is the NFL segment, and it will be on our Insta TV, IGTV. But if you're listening,
and I'll tell you what, if it gets up, I'm doing a cut. Oh, we've switched over to Sky One here. Sky One, get on it, Domma, quick, it's about to jump.
Here we go. Come on.
Here we go.
Here she goes.
Not bad.
Oh, she got hit. Push.
Here we go. Still in with a chance. Still in with a chance. Still in with a chance.
Finishes. No. She's dying. She's doing all right, but come on, go girl.
Oh,
Push.
not quite, Domma.
That's all right.
Fifth on the finish. I'm telling you, it was a tough box. It was a tough box. Definitely a tough box.
Did all right, fifth. We'll take that. Good. It's a second race back from injury. She finished fifth in her first race back, and then she had a lovely win over the weekend, which was fantastic. Back on the winners list, and then in this race, we'll take it. Good on her.
For the punters out there, that one was Jaybird. Put that in your sports bet black book or whatever betting app that you use and gamble responsibly.
It was paying $61.
It was 101 to 1 over at another book that I got on it. I didn't go too big, Domma. I put $2.50. $2.50.
We're looking for the place more than anything, but
you got to have a bit of something on there just in case the miracle came through.
You never know.
You never know.
All right, we didn't get the reaction that we wanted from me, but you got to keep cool, calm, and collect. I tell you what, I may have potentially taken my clothes off on this podcast if she won. So thank God.
I'm glad they didn't win. I'm glad. Look, I'm just glad for that, Domma. All right, Domma. NFL.
Anyway, let's get into some
week 9. We're gonna go NFL week 9. We're gonna
week 9.
I'm gonna lead it this week. I'm just gonna quickly run over the bets where I've absolutely had an absolute mare. It's fair to say, Domma, in the last 2 weeks, I am an absolute shambles on the bets. I've got no clue what the hell I'm doing.
You shit the bed, but in saying that, just quickly, you did say last week to follow your bets loosely.
Yes, I did say.
You did put that as a disclaimer.
I'm not doing well, and I said this from the start. This is why I'm only doing small amounts. You can see I put exactly how much I'm betting, and that's because I'm trying to mitigate my losses because, this is my first crack at doing this. But that's why we bet in the percentages and we bet like that so that we can stay in the game longer and have some more fun. So, Domma, I'll quickly just grab them up here. Oh no, I don't think I've got them. Oh, they might be on the... Anyway, ladies and gents, I'm not even going to go over them. I'm just going to say I didn't win one of them. I went 0-4 on my bets. I had an absolute shambles of a... what did we have?
You stunk it up.
Well, we had Seahawks -3. Well, that didn't go well. Wait.
I'll quickly. Did you want me to run through some of these scores?
Go around through the scores. I got to find them here.
Packers beat 49ers 34-17. Green Bay 12-3 versus San Francisco in the regular season since '96. Great performance by the great man Aaron Rodgers. Which Green Bay are now starting to get a bit ahead of themselves. I'm just going to put that out there. A couple other people have said it, some big podcasters, and I completely agree with them. They're talking about best team in the league, and Devonta Adams is like on by far the best receiver in the league. Just can't be fun, mate. Like, you got slapped to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who got slapped by, almost shut out this week. Just shut up, idiots. Next up, we had Atlanta Falcons. 1-2 in a row, I think, here. They beat the Broncos 34-27. Matty Ice, 10-3 career record versus the AFC West. I just want to quickly give a shout out to our boy Colin Cowherd, who for a whole week bagged Drew Lock and said, "You can't be dancing when you've achieved absolutely nothing." And he said, "I guarantee you, you will not win this week, and you'll get found out." And he was right on the money. So, Bills beat the Seahawks, 7-2 start for the first time since when we were born, Sauce, in 93.
I'll
The
just
Bills.
say, Domma, that Seahawks team's got no chance because that defense is putrid. Putrid.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
You're pretty much saying Russell Wilson in that offense, you got to go out and put up 50 every week because when we come up against a quarterback who doesn't sit in the pocket and moves and get outside the pocket like Josh Allen is able to do, they're a shambles.
Well, Josh Allen, he had a family member pass away before this game. I'm not sure if it. I don't want to say who it is just in case I get it wrong, but he had someone very close to him pass away, and he just went out there and he flung it like no one has flung it in a very long time. He went 31 of 38.
He's elite.
Completion for averaging almost 11 yards a throw. Three TDs.
That's a Peyton Manning-esque game. That
He
one right
dominated.
there.
Oh,
That is elite. That is just about as good as you can play as a QB, pretty much.
He played unbelievable. So, props to him. He's back on the winners list. Next up, we have
7-2
Ravens.
the Bills. They're looking good.
Yeah. Next up, we have Ravens versus Colts. Baltimore 20-plus points in 31 straight games, which is an NFL record. Beat the Colts. I don't know, did you catch your boys this week?
Disappointing, Domma. You know, we were in the game at halftime, and then we come out in the second half, and Philip Rivers, fair to say, he stunk the place up. We're not going to get anywhere with Philip Rivers. He's past his best. Like his best was at the Chargers when they were formerly called the Chargers. I don't know formally called, but you know. And now we've got in an old Philip Rivers. I mean, he's an upgrade on what we had last season, but you know, we need another quarterback, and it's sort of shit because we're going to do okay, and we're not going to probably get a decent pick. Probably going to end up with Philip Rivers again next season. They'll probably sign him to like a 1-year deal again, and yeah, our defense is good, but when we come up against the better teams, we're getting found out as our offense can't put up enough points. I mean, keeping them to 24 points is pretty good, Domma. Your offense is going to be able to at least come out and put up, 25, 30 points for you to have a chance at winning game. Like, we've kept the Ravens to 24 points. That's pretty decent. So...
You do have a good defense, though. So, next up we had Texans v Jags. Not much in that one. Texans won that. Panthers pushed the Chiefs. Kansas is 17-1 in the last 18 games. That is including the playoffs.
See, this is the sort of week I was having, Dom. I had altered that line to have the Chiefs -3, and they lose by 2. I mean, they win by 2. My bad. They win by 2. So it was having a mare.
Very unlucky. Next up, divisional game. I'm pretty sure Vikings beat the Lions. You like that? Kirk Cousins. He's won 2 in a row. He's back. Kurt, he's back. I'm just going to read.
Who's he got this week? Because I'll tell you what, I'll be going opposite team.
Love a bit of.
This is the perfect. This is absolutely the perfect Kirk Cousins fool's gold right here. Game coming up this week. They're up against the Bears. None better, mate. And Chicago are outsiders.
Yeah, they'll get done, I reckon. Tennessee beat the Bears, 24-17. Now this is an interesting one. Giants are good enough to beat some of these teams in their division, considering it is the shittest division in football. They beat the Giants 23-20. This was an awesome game for Alex Smith, who dominated in a loss for Washington. I'm pretty sure he had 4 TDs in this game. Let's double check that. He had...
No.
Oh, no, sorry. He was terrible. He had 1 TD, 3 interceptions. My bad. They pulled Cole Allen for him, and he had a bad game. I think it was the other way around. Maybe not. I'm thinking of a different game.
You're thinking of a different game, mate. He definitely didn't do well. He had 3 interceptions and a QBR of 32.4. Albeit, no, definitely didn't do well.
Yeah, did not do well. I take that back. We had Raiders, Chargers. Raiders are starting to put some good football together now. Herbert was beaten again. Dolphins, Tua, second start, second win. Beat the Cardinals. This was a great game. Kyler versus Tua. It had it all. Miami were just too good in the end and took the chocolates, and Tua looked pretty good. Good early signs for us Cowboys. Fucking Cowboys wish they had Tua Tagovailoa. Good signs for us Dolphin supporters out there, which is awesome. And then the Cowboys actually did push Pittsburgh a bit in this next game. Big Ben went off with a bit of a scare. Thought he might have been a bit hurt, but he came back on. He finished the game, and he literally took them to the win because they weren't winning that game. Honestly, if they had Mason Rudolph in there for the rest of that game, they probably would have lost it. I'm being serious. As crazy as that sounds.
Well,
So,
they were down, Domma, 19-9 going into the last quarter.
So Big Ben coming back was a major, major factor and a great win. Next up, we had, as I did mention a bit earlier, for the first time since week 3 in 2011, 9 years ago, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in a game. They almost got shut out by Sauceys Super Bowl predictor,
Thank
the
you.
Saints. They beat them 38-3. They had a record. I don't know if they counted the knees at the end of the game for the Bucs. A record of less than 5 running plays in this game.
Heard that.
They've got McCoy, Fournette, these running backs that are very good.
Makes no
And
sense,
Peyton-
Domma.
Peyton and the Saints forced them to throw the ball. Their defense was stifling at times for Brady. Like watching that game, it literally looked like he was getting sacked every second, left, right, and center. They weren't there for him. Antonio Brown played his first game. He did nothing. I don't know. Are they a bit of a pretender? I got a bit of a Geelong Cats feel about him. I don't know.
Ooh, here we go, Domma. He's calling them out.
No, I'm just calling. I'm not saying that they are pretenders. I'm saying, they got all these offensive weapons, Evans and Godwin, Brown.
They're not using them to their
Gronk.
advantage, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're just struggling. So we'll watch this space and see what happens. And the last game of the round was the Patriots versus the Jets. Anyone a la LeBron James who's G'ing up Cam Newton for this win, LeBron, he beat the Jets. Come on, man. I love you, man. I love you to death. But he beat the Jets. Come on, man. Like, give me a spell. Cam, you go, brother. Yeah, okay, because you beat the Jets. Like, and I could go out there and sling the ball 40 times and probably beat the Jets. Like, let's be realistic. Let's be honest, I probably couldn't. I'll get sacked. I'll get sacked left, right, and center.
Nah.
Anyway,
I mean,
but that was
they got Taylor Lawrence goggles on.
they're not going to get him. They've won too many games. They won't get him. They could miss out on every quarterback now because they won that game. So they could be in a lot of trouble. They're going to be losing a lot of players in the offseason.
No, I'm talking about Jets.
Jets. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant New England. New England should have had those goggles on. They really should have. But let's go into Week 10 to wrap it up. Colts v Titans. Bucks versus Panthers. Texans versus Browns. Washington versus Lions. Jags, Packers. Eagles, Giants in a divisional game. Would be a good game. Bengals, Steelers in a divisional game, which will be all right as well. Bills, Cardinals. Broncos, Raiders. Seahawks, Rams, which is another great game. And then we've got my Super Bowl prediction and Sauce's Super Bowl prediction in the 49ers versus the Saints. Ravens versus Patriots. I tell you what, LeBron, you can bloody tweet at Cam Newton if he dominates this week and he beats the Ravens. This is a team you can tweet him. Chargers versus Dolphins, which will be awesome. Herbert versus Tua. And then to finish it off, our boy, you like that? Kirk Cousins versus his worst nightmare, which will be Khalil Mack. Just Mack trucking him for a whole game, getting eaten alive.
They stopped Dalvin Cook in that running game, which is how they've been able to win that last 2 games. Without that running game, no
they
chance.
stop him, it's finished.
Right.
If they force Cousins to throw the ball, it's over.
And this Bears defense is good. So I expect them to
He threw it
ramp
for
up that
20
pressure.
times. Yeah.
They'll bring the
Threw it
pressure.
20
They'll
times.
bring that blitz.
Yeah. Just remember, he's throwing for 20 or less 2 weeks in a row. You got to try and get Cousins to throw around that 30 mark, 35 mark. You got to force him to throw the ball. If you do that, you'll destroy the Vikings. So those are the upcoming games. We'll cover them. Sauce will get his bets out again. He'd probably just give another disclaimer.
Oh, here we
I'll
go.
just loosely
Yeah,
follow.
I'm going to get my bets out tomorrow. But I will go. I had Seahawks -3. Well, that didn't go well. Tampa Bay -4. That went really, really well. And then I had Chiefs -3. Steelers -6.5 into Patriots. Well, I only got Patriots out of that one because the Steelers really struggled. Only won by 5 and Chiefs won by 2, so that went. And I did win one bet. So I went 1-3. And my bet that I did win was I altered the line, had the Bears, Chicago Bears +10.5, and then the Steelers to win. So, I mean, I got one bet. But in terms of where I'm sitting exactly, I haven't updated my spreadsheet, but I'm going to update it and then make a nice graphic and put it out there to let you know that I'm probably sitting about even. I haven't exactly worked it out, or just under. So not doing too well. When I said I wanted to try and increase it by 15% by the end of the season, well, I'm going to have a hell of a second half of the season. Let's be honest about that. Yeah, Domma, that's it. That's the bets. Gamble responsibly, ladies and
Gamble
gents.
responsibly.
And take all my bets with a grain of salt.
There it is. There's the disclaimer again. 2 weeks in a row. We'll see what happens. When he gets 4 from 4 this week, then we'll be like, follow it perfectly, and then he'll just cop it next week. But all the best, mate, going into your tips this week, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, coming up next, a bit of an update on Hobby Talk and where you can probably find it. So stay tuned. All right, we're back. Hobby Talk. There won't be one this week. We were fortunate enough and really appreciate the invite from Talking Cardboard Podcast, Shane Panther and Ben. Thanks for having us on. We filmed that last night. So stay tuned. I'll tag their account in the description of the Instagram post that goes out. But also, we probably will get our hands on some of that footage and we'll put out some clips of that. But we did a NBA draft preview for this year, and we also related that stuff to the card market and who we thought was going to be a prospect of, someone to collect and who's going to be worth the most.
Who's going to have some hobby relevance, and it all matters.
Yeah.
It's going to be easier to decide these things once the draft actually happens.
Correct.
When you've got the markets of the players, but it was more revolved around who we think is going to go sort of the top 5 picks and how they're going to fare at the ball club that they could potentially go to based off the projected picks. But we still don't know what's going to happen as the draft is yet to happen. So.
And also some Smokies there as well, outsiders that we thought could have an impact. But stay tuned and look at it. Maybe look at their page daily or once a week. As the draft is next week, it'll be coming out within the next week or so. We would have thought the boys are just going to do some editing and get that out. But once again, massive, massive thanks. We really appreciate you reaching out and wanting us to jump on your show. They are one of the biggest sports card podcasts in this country, and for them to come and ask us, it is an honor and we appreciate it. And down the track, we look to getting them on our pod as well, which is fantastic. And tell you what, those two boys, as Sauce can tell you, are not short of some banter, which is awesome.
The
we
banter
love that
game
stuff,
was
man.
absolutely
it was
on
a lead.
point. Bang.
It was very, very nice. So thank you once again, and that's our hobby talk for this week. So coming up next, mate, we've flown through this. The most anticipated segment of the week, Sauceys Smokey. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. the final segment of the show and the most anticipated segment of the show, which is also one of the biggest blunders we've had last week. But Sauceys Smokey presented this week is from last week,
Yeah.
and last week's will be presented as a graphic on our socials this week. So we've done a bit of a mix-up.
We have ballsed it up, ladies and gents. We've ballsed it up on. We've put the graphic that we're supposed to put out this week, last week, and the graphic I was supposed to put out last week, we haven't even put it out. So it's going to go out this week. But still, everyone's going to know what the Smokey is.
It's just value for everyone, mate.
Value for money. Early, we gave an early Sauceys pick, so anyone who was also listening to the pod or watching the pod and then following our socials, they would have picked up on this, but I highly doubt anyone has, other than us. So, we're just going to throw it out there. We'll have a giggle about it. But, ladies and gents, if you haven't seen it, head to our socials, Instagram page, at DBL coverage _ and find us and find the latest Saucy Smokey that has been posted, because, you know, that's the one that you want, and I'm just trying to, here we go, he's trying to get it up, there it is, that's the one, bang, you'll flick it over, there it is, ladies and gents, Saucy Smokey, the 1996 Skybox Premium base rookie with Kobe Bryant and that nice layup he's got with his back to the hoop. He's going up for the up and under, and the prices are there, as you can see. Raw, pick them up about $20. PSA 8, 53. PSA 9, 150, and PSA 10, 600. There is incredible value on this card. Incredible value. The dark edges, dark corners. I keep bringing this back. Those PSA 9s are the equivalent, in terms of their chance of getting a PSA 9 and higher, are the equivalent of modern day PSA 10s. So,
okay,
that's it's like 50% to get a PSA 9 or something. 50% of the time you get a PSA 9, and then you've got modern day cards getting PSA 10s at that rate. So those PSA 9s in my eyes are just as valuable as the modern day PSA 10s. So that's why, at the moment they're only 150, and that's where I can't believe that the PSA 10's only at 600. I mean, that PSA 10, I'm telling you right now, this card, once the announcements, all these sort of
it's all over.
Jazz goes on, and that's what you're gonna, it's gonna go up.
I just want to cut you off there really quickly. If you listen to this and you're starting to get sick of some of Saucy's Smokies in terms of like, it's Kobe, it's Kobe. There's a reason why he's giving you the Kobe. He's trying to tell you, get off your butt and go buy it, because this is your time. Because I tell you one thing, Saucy ain't going to be giving you Kobe Smokies once all the announcement comes out. It's all over. You won't see probably another Kobe on Saucy Smokey.
Well, I think the market will go up a hell of a lot, like Michael Jordan did.
Yeah.
And it will come back down.
It will, but you probably won't see it again for a very long time on double coverage. So,
and I'll bring this back to the point where all these sports people, sports card pods, and other, people on Instagram, they say, buy your blue chip stock. Your blue chips, your LeBrons, your Jordans, your Kobe's, your Larry Birds. You know what I mean? The guys who have accomplished a lot. Magic Johnsons, Kareems, the guys who have accomplished a lot, and not just prospects. Because, if you go back and have a look at, say, a draft from 5 years ago, out of those guys from 5 years ago, who the hell is even relevant? There might only be 1 or 2 or 3 players in the draft that are collectible and are actually going to have a chance of having a collection in your possession that's going to, increase in value over time. Other than that, everyone else is a bust. So the fact that people in this year's draft are buying guys, deep, like, I mean, even myself, but like I took the option of buying KZ Okpala cards because everyone at the time was buying all the other guys, and I was buying these G League guys, so I literally bought 40 of his base Prism cards for $40 was $1 a card. So to me, it's like, oh, that's a value for money. Now those same Prism cards, because now everyone's gone through all the other ones, now they're looking for the next freaking guy to come out of the G League. Now those base Prism cards are like, people are selling for $3, so I could instantly sell them and make money. That's why I bought those ones. But
what I'm saying is, stop thinking that guys like Rui Hachimura, Eric Pascal, you know what I mean? Who else? Like even Tyler Hero. Like, I mean, even though I think he's going to be a good player, there's no guarantees. You know what I mean? You don't know. Who else can I say?
The guarantees. Yeah, the
Even Ja
guarantees.
Morant,
Yeah.
he's very explosive. He's got that similar sort of Derrick Rose athleticism about him in that sense where he's fast on that first step. He's lightning quick. He can shoot it better than Derrick Rose, let's be honest. But once again, every guy's one knee injury away from pretty much being, irrelevant in the hobby. And
But
his
yeah,
collectors die
even
down the arse. So
even
why
if
wouldn't you buy these
even
Kobe
yeah,
cards when they're at a reasonable price?
exactly.
He's
I
a
agree
great
with
of
you.
the game. And I keep saying, whether you like Kobe
Actually,
or
no
you don't
brainer.
like Kobe, you need to understand the hobby as a whole. The Lakers brand is such a sellable brand within card collections and guys and being able to move cards within the hobby. And no better than the greatest Laker of all time, Kobe Bryant. Right? So I just, you can get sick of it. That's fine. When I come back to you and the announcement's made and I see these same cards and I'm take a screenshot of how much we put it for and how much they're going
Mate,
for now after all the
mate,
announcements and whatever.
mate. I'll be. But you know what the funny thing is, and it's hilarious. We've done 19 pods. We've done 18 Saucy Smokies because you did an opening of your graded cards as a reveal in one of them.
Yep.
Of the 18, I'd say one hasn't been a hit yet because he hasn't played in Wiggins. All the other 17, your Duncans, your Kobe's, your Shaqs, your JJJs, all those cards have gone up in value. If people actually listened to you and went out and did it, and they were like, "Oh, we just want to flip something and make some money," you would have made heaps. Now, like those guys, like those Shaq cards and stuff, and those Duncan cards, are starting to go up.
Yeah, some of those, and I'll bring it back. Here's another one. I'll just throw it out there. The Shaq NBA hoops card is still so undervalued. Like, I seen an SGC 10 today, Domma, or was following it, and I happened to be working at the time, so I wasn't able to have a bid. I would have had a bid if I could have. It went for $40. Like, hello, freaking NBA hoops. I'll bring it back. Even though I don't like keep bringing this up, but I keep bringing it up because I would rather buy a guy who's got 5 championships, who was the best player in the league for 3 years, pretty much, or 4 years, and was a force, and he was an absolute comical character, been in freaking movies. So in terms of like that,
But he was actually the thing is, he's like one of the greatest players ever.
oh
On top of that,
yeah. So
and he's in your face every week on TNT.
I tell you what, he's got some nice skybox inserts. That is Shaquille O'Neal. I've been looking at I've been finding lots of Shaquille, lots. I've been literally going out there typing Shaquille O'Neal lot. I need to speak to Panther. He's got one of the best Shaquille O'Neal collections you ever see.
I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about it. We'll talk it on a hobby talk, I reckon, next week. Because I did mention it, but Skybox, you got to just look at some of these insert cards that are out there. We'll probably show them off in hobby talk next week. But yeah, I don't want to take your thunder because we've still got a Smokey here to get through.
Well, the Smokey's done, ladies and
It's
gents.
done.
I brought it up. You've seen
yeah.
the prices. Go have a look on.
Maybe just read it out for our listeners.
I'll bring it back up on the mini overlay, bangs for the viewers. But it's raw. You got your Kobe Bryant 1996 Skybox Premium. The card number is number 55, so you don't get it mixed up. And it's a card of him sort of doing an up and under layup under the hoop, and it's just, and the thing that stands out in the whole card, like you just see the corner of the net, you're in the corner, the net's hanging, and like it's just, you see Kobe's stands out straight away. Everything else is sort of like darked out. And the raw 20 USD going for PSA 8 50, around 50 USD, PSA 9 150 USD, and the PSA 10 600 USD, which I think is like criminally undervalued because the pop report on it, Domma, which I'll bring it up now. We'll bring it up now. Thank you very much to Carl Data once again, always providing the goods. The goods.
Once again.
There's only 581 PSA 10s out there, Domma. That is a very limited number. And PSA
That's very
9s,
nice.
there's only 1,500. You know, take that into perspective, Domma, where you've got Zion Williamson, freaking PSA 10s, prison base, is going for, there's about 11,000 out there.
And the card's not even a year old yet.
And there's still so much unopened product. Like that prison PSA 10 is going to get to 15,000, 17,000 easy.
It's just stupid.
So,
anyway.
like, ladies and gents, just look at it. And I mean, the card's gone down. So now's the time to buy it. Like, have a look at this graph. You know, real dollar change over the last 3 months in the PSA 9, $100. It's down $100. Lowest price, 110 in the last 3 months. High price, 217. Most recent sale, 129. It's even gone down from when we made the graphic, Domma.
Just buy it.
Get on there, ladies and gents.
If you've got the finances to go and invest in this card, just invest in the card.
And in the PSA 10, there we go, 3 months ago, going at around the $1,000 mark. Now down to last sold at 620. Down nearly 500 lacquers. I'm telling you right now, it was up at that point. Once it starts to ramp up again, because we're seeing, you know, we can go have a look at Luka Doncic, the next gen, Luka the Don. His PSA 10s in the last 2 weeks, sort of getting a slight little rise, not too much in the last month.
You got to remember the season's not even on at the moment.
The season's about to come. It's just around the corner.
Let's talk about this in a month and a half when all the card prices are through the roof again. And there's product drop.
The talk is around Christmas time. There's a bit of, you know, you're leading into Christmas because you know, people have their sort of expenses, presents and whatever. But coming into January, February, getting through that period, get ready, ladies and gents. This is where
ready for Luke at the Dawn.
This is where you know you should be finding those cards and that you think are undervalued, and that you think, you know, that guy's gonna show potential, or you're gonna see an opportunity to sell at, you know, a profit and make whatever 20%. Anywhere you could make anywhere from literally 20% to 300%. You know,
exactly.
It just depends on whether you do the work, do the research. Those Zion optics are still way too cheap. I still think. I mean, the one I'll maybe I'll give it on the Smokey next week. I'll give a free second Smokey, and this is only for listeners. I'm not going to cut a clip, nothing. So this is for the people that actually sit there and listen to this. Zion Williamson Chronicles in the Chronicles set, the marquee rookie. I like the card. I think the marquee is an underrated card. I've got a what have I got? I've got a here we go. As you can see, I've got an Anthony Davis one here, marquee rookie, BGS 9.5. I like this set, right? I think they look good, and the new one looks better than that Anthony Davis one. Disclaimer, right? I was buying Luka Doncic ones when no one was buying them for 15 USD. You know what I mean? Like 15, 17. I didn't want to pay more than 20. I ended up buying 4 or 5. Now those are going for 50 comfortably. Once the season starts, maybe that even goes up even more. But I can't see what happened. Why are Zion's only going for 10? Marquee rookie. So I just can't see why, if you can get some at $10. I mean, I bought a SGC 9.5 for 25 USD. So
come on,
there's some cheap cards out there, ladies and gents, and like, just think about it.
Look.
Zion comes, he does, you know, plays extended games, does exactly what he did last season, shows people that he's not a fluke, like the guy's a beast, and that card will go up. And especially literally buying a graded card for 25 USD, Domma, that is obnoxious.
That's ridiculous.
That's obnoxious. The raw card itself costs 10, that's the going rate, and it costs 10 to grade it, 10 USD. So for $5, essentially, I've got the card, because or else I would have to buy the card and grade it myself. Yeah, $5 extra, I'm saying, not $5.
That's practically the shipping.
Right? It's just nuts. So look out there. There's some undervalued stuff. And You know, get on it. There's so much hype around Zion. It's still going to be there. So I still think buying some of these guys now and not getting too sucked into the new guys. I think you can make a bit of money if you want to flip it through the season once they start putting stringing games together.
Done. There's a Sauceys Smokey, and a special one as well. Little tip. Anyway, there you go. Pod done, mate. It's been good. Nice quick one. Obviously, we'll review everything as we mentioned next week in terms of like events and stuff. And stay tuned for that Talking Cardboard podcast to drop at some stage within the next week. So yeah, it's been your boy Dom with Sauce. Keep living, loving, and breathing all sports. It's double coverage. Peace out.
Peace out, ladies and gents. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcasting app. Also, if you could please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, that would be awesome. Don't forget to follow us on socials at DBLcoverage_ on both Instagram and Twitter to join in with your opinions.